Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. This article in the Nation News is saying that young drug mules who are leaving Barbados and trying to smuggle marijuana out of Canada into Barbados say they're being threatened and coerced to do so. Now, this is written in your paper. I feel that they're told to say that they're threatened. They are told to say they're being coerced into doing what they're doing. Okay, I think that is part of the method. It's obvious. It is obvious that if you're doing something that is illegal, they have to tell you, but if you're caught, this is what you say. If you are caught, this is what you're going to say. And they would say it readily, because if they were to tell or call a name, they see what is going on with Bounty and the St. Philip government. They see how it works out for people who try to stand on their own 2 feet. They see that it's not a good ending. They see it. I'm sure, I am positive that when something happens like the Shane Paris incident happened, that was plucked out of the news and sent to all the carriers, all of them, all the mules got that in their phone. See, look what happened to Shane. Boo-hoo, it's not boo-hoo. It's telling you what's going to happen to you if you talk, okay? Or you will have to run to the right stripe, give yourself up just so that they put you away, that you're out of, you're out of their way, you're off the street. You're off the street. You go into Hotel St. Philip, but they can get you in there too. They can get you in there. But anyhow, this article also said that once you are in custody in Canada, and they're saying there are 6 people in custody, 6 Barbadians in custody in Canada. They're not talking about the U.S. Yeah, no, there gotta be a whole bunch of them in the U.S. System, but they're saying that the officials in these foreign countries, they ask the person who is detained if they want their embassy officials to know. So it's either a yes or no. So if the Belgian who is in a foreign country says, no, I do not want you to call no embassy on my behalf, they can't do anything because the embassy cannot provide attorneys, and they do not provide advice, nothing like that. Not the whoever is there working at the embassy, they don't provide nothing. All they do is make sure that they're treating you well within whatever parameters of the law. They would make sure that that is happening to you, which it mean much. It does not mean much, okay? But and then they'll call Mia Motley and say, Wizzy, guess who they got? One of your minister's children, Wizzy. What is Wizzy? Just call me and tell me. I'll tell the whole of Barbados, who has been held for doing what. So you get a gauge. It's information. You get a gauge that you don't bow down. Do not bow down to nobody. Everyone is subjected to their temptations, and you have to see how they handle it. You want to know how they handle it. You need to keep files. You need to have folders, so you know who has fallen and who is pretty steady on their feet. And if you want to hire them to represent you as like a minister, you can say, well, this one. Or this one, not that one, this one. You need to know. You need to have the information. But getting back to the story again. Yeah, so they're saying that they have 6 Barbadians in custody in Canada. And they're saying that sometimes people think that when they're caught, they're sent back to Barbados to go to the judiciary and to go through the process. Who thinks that? They said that in your news. Who thinks that? Nobody thinks that. I don't know of anyone who thinks that when you're held in a foreign country, breaking their laws, that they're sending you back to your country to stand trial. Nah. They'll go through the system there in Canada, and if they're found guilty, they're going to spend time in prison. in Canada, and then they're deported. You're a deportee. Yeah, add that onto your name with all the honorable, and I'm a diplomat. You should add deportee. Add deportee at the end of in the beginning. Deportee. Whatever his name. Tonil Rowe, deportee. But anyhow, yeah. So they're talking about in Barbados. They're saying that there's a worry. There's a drug mule worry. Okay, and I spoke about that yesterday. I said that a lot of young people, when I say young, under 30, they're young, are doing this stuff, doing this thing, and I don't know if they are allowed to go through to see how the system works and how they're maneuvering the system and so that they can shore up loopholes or whatever. I don't know if the authorities in countries are learning from these people to get better, because that's what they do. Because you're going to try to, criminals try to circumvent everything. Whatever's there, you're going to try to circumvent it. So they have to watch you to get better. Okay, they get better. So if you are not carrying anything that's worth too much and it's not going to hurt them, they'll let you go through. You know how many people go into stores and steal clothing or whatever, and they'll watch you. They're watching you, and they let you go because they want to see, okay, is she going to bring her family next time, or is he going to bring his boys next time? They just watch and they'll wait. They'll watch and they'll wait. You're being watched. To make a long story short, you're being watched. Okay, so yeah, so there be some mules are being held in Canada. You know that mules are being held. Belgian mules are being held in America, probably in the UK, all over, and they're not talking because they're trained not to talk. They're like young professionals in a way. They know better than to talk because 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years behind bars, you still come out to be among the land of the living. That's how they think. You're still alive. You can still come out and make babies and get married and become a member of parliament, probably become the next prime minister of Barbados. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to remember that. So they still think that they have a life ahead of them if they keep their mouths shut. But to talk about the government in the Red Sea or in St. Philip, you see what happens. You don't have to think about it too hard. It's in the news. It's in your news. You know what's going to happen. Okay? So, yeah, the traffickers being mum on contacts and that kind of stuff. It's expected. It's expected. And don't expect much when you are in a foreign country and you're held and you're found guilty. You're going to go through the system just like every other African American or whoever. You're going to go through the system and it's going to end up the same way for you as it happens here for everyone else. Okay? There's no favoritism. You know, the only thing that's going to happen is Mia Motley is going to know your name and she's going to know your family. She would, if you say yes, you want your embassy to be, notified that you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Yeah, if you say yes, they'll know. The officials in Barbados will know. The police will know. But if you say no, they may not even know. So when they say 6, it could be more. It could be more in Canada. So yeah, this is something that is going to happen until the earth stops spinning. It's going to happen until the world ends. And it seems as though it's a world without end. Can I get an amen on that? This is Sherry Veronica.